G'day everyone, it's Aloe, and today I'm going to be reviewing the accuracy of Prehistoric Planet Episode 1, Coasts. I'll be looking at the things I got right and wrong, while mostly focusing on the science, ignoring the other aspects of the show. If you want to see a broader review, follow the link in the description or click the card in the top right. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more of this kind of content. So, without any further ado, let's dig into it. The first part of the show follows a family of T-Rexes, the father and 5 chicks. Now, Tyrannosaur's social behaviour has been a topic of controversy for a while. A bone bed of a few dozen Albertosaurus, a close relative of T-Rex, has been found with many different ages, ranging from juveniles to fully grown adults. Other dinosaurs, like Maiasaura, have concrete evidence of parental care, and it's a good way to make sure as many offspring as possible make it to adulthood.
But not a guarantee.
I like how they didn't shy away from the cruelness of life. Obviously, you'd want to attack a baby over an adult because it's much less of a risk to injury. The swimming T-Rex is also possible due to their hollow bones and powerful feet. The uncovered segment for this episode also goes in depth about swimming dinosaurs. In this part of the episode, we also see a turtle, which does go unnamed, but it's probably Alcione, the largest turtle to ever exist. It has a roughly correct size, and has a very nice leatherback sea turtle-like shell. T-Rexes themselves are also done greatly. They have very small scales, which are those correct from skin impression, and it even has the right skull shape, and he is thick!
Damn, boy! Damn, boy! He's thick! Boy! That's a thick-ass boy! Damn!
T-Rex is one of the bulkiest animals ever. I mean, look at its ribcage. The same can't be said, however, for the babies. What used to be known as the genus Nanotyrannus is now a junior synonym of Tyrannosaurus. You have a very nicely preserved skeleton of an adolescent T-Rex named Jane, which shows a much leaner animal with longer legs and a more narrow, shallow snout. The babies also have feathers done with insulation, which the adult has mostly shed. The mosasaur that we see in the segment also goes unnamed, but it's probably Tylosaurus. It has a roughly correct length, which it looks to be slightly larger than the T-Rex. The scales are super tiny, almost invisible, and it also has counter shading with a black and white belly, which is accurate. A study of pigments in Tylosaurus Nepiolicus shows that at least parts of these animals was darkly coloured. It also has a nice fluke, which is supported by some nice fossils. Once on the shore, the adult T-Rex flips over an Alcione to eat it. Scavenging Rexes has been an extremely long and controversial discussion, with Jack Horner stating that T-Rex must have been a scavenger. We however have healed over puncture wounds, showing that those animals did in fact survive an attack from a T-Rex. Now we think that T-Rex was mostly a hunter, but obviously wouldn't pass up a free meal. The second part of the episode focuses on some baby Alciones. I'll discuss the Barbadactylus more in the next episode because they're focused on there, but the other pterosaurs look great. The Phosphata Draco eats a baby Alcione, and since it's an Adzarchid, small animals would have been on its menu. It's also a nice attention to detail, having the pterosaur eggshells be weak and leathery, which is supported by their fossils. The Tuarangisaurus live in what is now New Zealand, and this is correct. They have little tail flukes and then gnarly teeth, great for catching fish. They're slightly oversized, with Sir David Attenborough stating them to be 30 feet, which is about 9.1 meters, when it was more like 8-ish meters. Using gastroliths is very likely, since they're the best way to grind up food for animals without molars. And at Snow Hill Island in Antarctica and Pierre Shale in America, elasmosaurs have been found with gastroliths in their belly. They also do like a neck measuring competition, which comes from the book All Yesterdays, written by C.M. Kozeman and Darren Naish, who was also the main paleontological advisor for Prehistoric Planet. This show does actually take a lot of inspiration from this book, also with the Carnotaurus arm display in episode 5. The Kai-Kai-Filu is also given counter shading, but it has nice stripes on its tail and looks very pretty. I also like the very lizard-like movements. Mosasaurs were squamates, the group that contains lizards and snakes, and their closest living relatives are probably monitor lizards. The Kai-Kai-Filu is also a very interesting mosasaur, being the only large tylosaur in the southern hemisphere, and it had multiple different types of teeth, meaning it was probably a more generalist feeder. Polycotylus, a plesiosaur from the central United States, has been found with a fetus growing in its body. This is the first direct evidence of viviparity in plesiosaurs, and it seems like the most likely way for them to reproduce. However, it probably would have been with the rear first, so they had more time to get free before they needed to breathe. They were also likely K-selected, meaning that they cared for the young, since they only had a few offspring per individual. This means that it's very possible for others in the group to protect the mother who's giving birth. The next part of the episode focuses on a Mosasaurus hoffmanni. It also has counter-shading, but with a fancy red head. I like how it gets cleaned by the smaller fish. This also happens quite often with animals like sharks or coral reefs. It's correctly placed in the Tethys Sea, so the sea that used to run between Africa and the then European archipelago. Mosasaurus was discovered in Maastricht, in the Netherlands, where it gets its name from. It's given a mass of 15 tons. Now this one was hard to research since mass isn't as relevant in water, so not as many proper studies have been done on it, but I found one calculation that gave this lizard a mass estimate of 13 to 16 tons. So that's about right. We see a forked tongue due to the fact that it's a squamate, and a second row of teeth inside the mouth, which we do see in the fossils. Mosasaur infighting also has a lot of evidence. We have skulls of Tylosaurus, with teeth marks made by other Tylosaurus, so it's very likely that Mosasaurus also dealt in these aggressive social interactions. The final part of the episode I'm going to discuss is the Ammonite segment, which is itself pretty short, so this will be as well. The Ammonites look pretty good with their weird shells and tentacles out the front. They have bioluminescence, and it's very pretty. They are related to cephalopods, which is the group that contains squid, octopi, and cuttlefish. While all of these can change their skin colour for camouflage, cuttlefish can perform hypnotizing displays of light, so it's entirely possible for ammonites to do the same. Personally, I think this episode did extremely well accuracy-wise. Most animals even have the correct colour. A few minor things led the episode to not quite a perfect score, so in my opinion, it gets a 9.5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!